Wish we had
I said we're starting without you. Catch up with you later.
high wire glasses, but we do not.
No worries.
We do have a high wire sign now.
Yeah, I wish I had some high wire glasses too.
All right, so you should be plugged in. We like to wear headphones.
Do I need
What
to?
the fuck are you getting now?
Calm down, man.
What do you mean calm down? You can't just give me the look and not tell me what you're doing. As I talk to nobody there. Leia, you're not allowed in here. How many times do I have to say this?
She's just being a little sweetheart to me. That's all she's doing.
She is. She really is.
She knows she.
Anytime she can get extra pets,
Yeah.
she's going for the extra pets.
I know. That's nothing new. That's how these ladies are.
That's so true. It's very true. Well put. Not to
So
use-
how many episodes have you guys done?
So we are now 12 episodes deep.
Okay.
So 12 are scheduled, ready to go.
Yeah.
We literally, on this day, switched to 2 episodes a week.
Okay.
So this Friday we'll have an episode, and then starting next week we'll do one on Tuesday, and we'll also do one on Friday.
Okay. Cool.
And we'll keep following that as much. So your episode will be...
Thank you.
Alright, so June 1st is the next one, which is Ben Banking and Brian Cox from Oak Road. Which means you'll be on the 5th. June
Cool.
5th is
Cool.
when you're on.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Want to try out the headphones, see how everyone sounds?
Yeah. Let's see how that works. I don't even know how that works.
Oh, Brian, can you turn on amplifier? The button's in the back. It's just a push button, man. Just push the button.
I pushed it. It's not working.
Oh, fucking A.
The power cord is not plugged in.
There is no power cord. There is only 9-volt battery.
Well, the 9-volt battery might not be.
How is it dead? How is it even remotely fucking dead? Alright. News of self. Don't buy shitty equipment from shitty musicians. That's all I gotta say.
What can you do?
You can buy decent equipment from decent musicians
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
that aren't gonna fuck you over.
once you get the money to do that, sure.
Whatever. I'm not trying to get too mad. Usually we like to listen to ourselves on the headphones. That way we each get an idea of
Yeah.
how we sound, and it kind of helps
Yeah.
bring in everyone to focus, I guess,
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
in the
Understand.
podcast. Yeah.
You tested levels, mic level.
Yeah, he seems pretty good. Go ahead and talk.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
It seems pretty good.
That's how many beers
Seems like
I
you're
drank on Saturday night.
nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're set.
Yeah, and we're recording already. So,
Sweet.
Happens every time.
Yeah, great.
who are we sitting with, Brian?
Tyler
Jones.
Jones.
That's correct.
Tyler Jones from
That's correct.
High Wire Brewing. A rep. You're not actually a brewer or owner or anything like
No,
that, right?
I cover South Carolina and Georgia for High Wire Brewing, and we are from Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
I guess the self-proclaimed brew city of the Southeast,
Right.
beer city USA, 6 times. Can you believe that?
Nice.
Whoa.
6 times.
Really?
Been voted that, yeah. It kind of goes
USA.
between them. Yeah, it kind of has bounced back and forth between Portland, I think like Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Wow.
Might have won it a few times, and then Asheville's won it a bunch. I mean, Asheville has something like 44 breweries, and there's like less than 100,000 people.
Wow.
So per capita, that's pretty much like you get, it's like there's a brewery for every 2,000 people.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've hit maybe 10 of those. 44 of them?
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't even hit like a fraction. I can't even say.
Well, there's a lot. It's kind of like how we have here in Charleston too. There's probably 20 of them that are distributing out into the market. There's a lot of them that are sort of the smaller, sort of like brew pubs, things like that. But then there's big players like Highland and things like that, Pisgah, that aren't necessarily in downtown Asheville, right, but that they consider themselves in that, like the Black Mountain. Catawba's another one that they have like a tasting room, but they're from like Morganton, North Carolina or something like that. There's a lot of like, sort of intriguing math that goes on with that. But there's a ton. I mean, just where. So
Fontaflora would be one of those guys as well?
We would say that they are probably just outside of that because they're about an hour outside.
Right. Morganton as well, right?
Yeah.
I've heard they moved though, right? Did they have a new location?
I think they have two. Like we have 2 tap rooms. Okay. That's what everybody gets sort of confused. And, we're only 5 years old. So we turned 5 in July.
Wow, that's so soon.
Yeah, and we have 2 tap rooms. So we have our original tap room that's on Hilliard Avenue in downtown Asheville. So that was our first place. It used to be the old Craggy Brewing. So it's a smaller look. I mean, I think it's under 3,000 square feet. And that's where, it's on the South Slope. That's where we do all of our like sour production and wild ales and things like that. And then we have a big production facility in Biltmore Village, and that's like a 27,000 square foot. We call that the Big Top.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's a 30 barrel production facility. We just bought I think it was 8 or 9 new 90 barrel fermenters, and it's a big deal. It's got a canning line, a bottling line. It's got a huge tap room. So yeah, we've got 2 actual tap rooms in downtown Asheville.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, where are those located in Asheville?
Okay, so the first one that's on Hilliard, that's in the South Slope. So when you think about Asheville, it's in that area by just down the hill from like the Orange Peel.
Okay.
So like you come down from that, so you have the Orange Peel, and next door to the Orange Peel is the Wicked Weed restaurant.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. So you know that.
So if you turn right out of there and kind of go down the hill and then turn right, you enter what's called a South Slope. So you have we're at the top. We're next to Ben's Tune Up. And then we have that little brewery there that's the sour place. But it's also a tap room. If you're going to visit, that's the tap room you want to hit first because you can just start there. That's where we're going to have probably a little bit more of our specialty, funky, sour, specialty things. Okay. You start there. You literally fill yourself up there, and then you can just roll down the hill. And you roll down the hill, and there's the Wicked Weed Funkatorium.
Did you say literally roll
you
down the hill?
You could roll down the hill. I could put one of you in a barrel, pick which one, and roll you down the hill. It's straight downhill. There's Wicked Weed Funkatorium on the right. Then to the left is the Catawba tasting room, which you will be able to taste some palmetto there now.
Right.
Because they bought Palmetto.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's very
expanding,
true.
And I've seen some of the new barrels going in at Palmetto here recently as well.
Yep. And then one of the best places, a hidden gem, is this place called Buxton Hall Barbecue is right next to it. That place is ridiculous. Get the chicken sandwich. You heard it here first. Buxton Hall Barbecue and the chicken sandwich. You got chicken sandwich. That thing, I believe it's won a few James Beard Awards for that. Elliot Moss is the chef. It's a cool place.
I'm a huge fan of barbecue.
They have a Cheerwine bourbon slushy.
Nice.
Yeah, that pairs well. Yeah, when you're not drinking a beautiful high wire lager with your chicken sandwich, drink that.
Yeah, Cheerwine was one of my favorite things growing up.
Yeah.
Going up to North Carolina twice a year, snow skiing, whatever. Cheerwine, man.
Dude, you don't see Cheerwine around a lot in this area.
No,
it's very rare.
It's up there.
So Cheerwine bourbon
slushy. That's my non-craft beer recommendation.
Oh, that sounds
so then you roll out of there. You're still rolling downhill with calories galore in your stomach. And then there's Twin Leaf Brewery. Mm-hmm. So that's right there. and then you want to cut back to your left, and there is Burial, which is a cult favorite. No pun intended, but it's one of the better. I love that brewery too. That's
fantastic.
One of my favorite places. Donut Skillet Stout, their Fernet Donut Skillet Stout, one of my all-time favorites.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, it's ridiculously good.
Donut Skillet.
Yeah, they've actually put a little donut hole in the beer for you.
Oh.
So that you have that. Then you have Green Man right at the bottom of the hill, and Tasty Beverage is like a bottle shop in between. So
down by the fermentory, right? Is that the one, the bottle shop by the fermentory?
It's down by Green Man, so it's on South Slope. So yeah, I mean it's one of those things where you can hit 6 breweries, get lunch, and walk a mile, just straight downhill, and then catch an Uber back up the hill because it's a pretty steep grade. Yeah. Like I said, you
gotta go, man.
You can.
Well, my brother and I just went down there. We did the craft beer relay from Asheville to Greenville.
Yeah.
This past month, about a month ago,
Was
73 miles from Asheville to Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Craft beer. And we started at Highland Brewing Company and ended up. It wasn't at a brewery actually in Greenville, but anyway.
Yeah, Birdsfly South or something. You hit that up too.
I think it was closer to Thomas Creek.
Okay.
Somewhere like that, but. Yeah, it's fantastic. We hit all the breweries there in Asheville first, and then we hit
like
some breweries around the
Sierra
around
Nevada.
The way. We didn't do Sierra Nevada.
Oscar Blues.
Nope, we didn't do any of those. We hit all the stuff downtown. All the stuff you just mentioned. The Green Man, the Burial, the Fermentory, Wicked Weed, and then we hit Swamp Rabbit along the way. Swamp Rabbit.
Swamp Cabbage.
Anyway. I'm taking away from the whole story.
Yeah.
But we did a relay from Asheville to Greenville.
Are you just making up breweries now?
No, I think it's called Swamp Rabbit. It's not Swamp Cabbage. That's in Columbia.
I should know that.
He should know that.
I should know that, but I do not know that.
Yeah, look it up.
But yeah, I mean, that little area right there, you can do whatever in terms of the quality of the beer right there and food and things like that. It's ridiculous.
Is it a standard for most breweries to have a decent kitchen? Or is it rare? Or do you guys have a kitchen? Or how's that go?
No, in our first place, Hilliard, we don't. But we're next door to a restaurant. So it kind of cancels it out.
Yeah.
We have a food truck at our location in Biltmore Village, and it's Foothills Meat. So think about like how Artisan Meat Share was here. Very similar, like butcher provisions, like everything's. I mean, it's a great hamburger, like a, like
so like I was thinking
like a sauerkraut Kaiser roll, things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't have a actual kitchen in the brewery. Okay. Not many people do. I mean, when you look at like Wicked Weed, they have their own restaurant.
Yeah, that's a little different.
So there's a lot of like laws in terms of food and we're going to see this in South Carolina. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but they're introducing a bill where you have to have a liquor license, to have a beer license, you have to produce X amount of food as your revenue to alcohol.
Damn.
So think about like a place like one of my favorite places downtown, like Recovery Room.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be tough for them to keep their food production to the percentage of alcohol, because I mean nobody's going in there to like get a filet mignon.
Bizarre thing to require. Like I feel like as long as you have the option, then you should be negated from the necessary ratio.
It's so weird how that law is written.
Travelers Rest, South Carolina. So
that's just north of Greenville.
Right. Yeah, on our journey down there, we stopped at Swamp Rabbit.
Swamp Rabbit, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I know where Travelers Rest is. I went to Furman University. It's right near there.
Very nice.
Furman.
Yeah.
The University of Christian Knights?
That's right. Fuck.
Yeah.
That was the chant. F you one time, F you two times, F you all the time. They should have one of those hats. You know how like South Carolina has cocks? They just have fuck on the front of it.
That's awesome.
Furman University Christian Knights.
Nice. We need to make those hats.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
I'm sure the lawyers at Furman will be
I'm sure they've heard
in your ear very quickly.
Right.
Oh. Well, they'll be the first ones that have ever really quickly been in our ears so far.
They have eyes and ears everywhere. I believe that they are, there may be some Illuminati over there. Who knows?
Oh, shit. Bring it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real quick, I mean, we're drinking water here. I mean,
let's do some
We got
beer.
empty glasses. We
pretty
need to
shitty.
open something. So I know we brought some beers. Are they?
I did.
Ready?
I brought.
We have some that are already pretty cold.
Yeah, we've got some that we can get.
Should we get that?
right.
See that Citra Gose? That's
All right.
that's our sort of current specialty beer that we have in the market, and definitely one of my favorites. I think that
This one?
no, the 16-ounce ones, the cans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd I put those?
Definitely one of my favorite beers that we do. I think that our owners really jumped on the whole Gose train very early on, and we one of our best-selling beers is our regular Gose. This is sort of a play on that style with Citra hops,
Okay.
dry hopped in it. I believe it's like 3.5 pounds per barrel. So that's a lot. It's gonna have a very, when I take this out into the market, there's a lot of folks that are, kind of have a little bit of shyness about Goses. They think that they're these super sours.
Right.
We live in a city where they pretty much Edward Westbrook kind of resurrected the Gose
Right.
style.
For
I mean,
I think so. I mean, definitely here in the south,
yeah.
southeast
Totally,
for sure.
totally. Not. It's I enjoy one or two of those. It's the salinity on that beer is way higher than what we do. We're more of a, a little bit more of a little hoppier and a little bit more. I don't want to say fruit forward, but there's fruit in the beer. That you can taste that.
Right.
It's not like a day at the beach.
I'm not against fruit by any means.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is great.
But yeah,
Big fan of Goses as it is. And I really like the design. I don't know who you guys have design your cans, but that's
pretty
awesome.
basic, simple.
So a lot of
The
it,
fact that it is simple is what I like.
a lot of it, what we do, Big Bridge is a group up in Asheville that we work with. Also, our in-house guy Javi, he does a lot of stuff for us in terms of like our marketing and design and a lot of film and photography work and stuff like that. So he's kind of a part of the master plan too. And what I love about this can is that you get this. If you're in the mountains, the blue is sort of the mountains rolling with the yellow as the sun.
I like that.
And then for us, I like to think of sort of the blue as sort of the sea lapping up on like the yellow is the beach.
Okay. Oh, I see. So you're looking more like an aerial view. I like that.
Yeah,
It's a different perspective.
Yeah.
I like that the front of the can says contains alcohol.
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna laugh at that too, but I didn't.
Our pink drink.
I saw that today.
They thought that it was
you get a punch something, right?
Purple
Purple
punch.
punch and a
Yeah, they thought that those were like sort of energy drinks.
right.
So that's why we had to put contains alcohol.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's cheers to something.
Yeah.
Let me get this in here. Well, cheers to containing alcohol. I think
Cool.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's
thing.
an energy drink in and of itself. The original energy drink, alcohol.
That's fantastic. I appreciate you bringing this stuff.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
this is great, man.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this or had it, so that's good. Citra Gose.
Mm.
4.5% ABV, 15 IBUs in this thing.
Yep. So it's a little bit hoppier.
Oh, that's
than
great
most.
though.
Yeah, it's easy to drink. And this is this is your summer poolside sipper, and it'll be in the market for a couple more weeks if we
So
don't
it's not
get
a year round.
No, and if we don't
Only
get
a few more weeks, man.
yeah, if we don't get rained out on Saturday at the Charleston, well, this will probably air after that, but at the
Yeah,
Charleston,
definitely.
maybe you can post it on your Instagram or something. But the Charleston Beer Garden this weekend on Saturday, we're gonna have 6 kegs of it there, so
We're
you can go crazy.
Charleston Beer Garden, 6 kegs.
Yep, that'll be on
Citra
Saturday. Yep, that'll be this Saturday, which I
Yeah, we'll
guess
try
we're
to do a
recording.
little post for sure.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
teaser.
We may get rained out, so it'll be
We'll definitely do a post, but you're scheduled for the 8th of June right now.
That's cool.
Right.
Which is right around the corner. This is not live.
It's pretty close. We just switched over to 2 episodes a week, so
cool.
we're trying to keep it more relatable because we've had people come in here and they're like 2 months later.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
Hey,
who remembers what you talked about 2 months ago?
That's right. Well, this is a new.
So you're talking the 19th and the 20th, the entire weekend, Saturday, Sunday?
No, just on Saturday.
Just Saturday.
At the Grove, Patriots Point.
This is so delightful. It's just refreshing and easy to drink.
Yep.
Very good.
That is awesome.
Yeah. No, it's perfect for where we live down here.
Oh my gosh, with the heat.
But it's also great in the mountains too. I mean, you throw a few of these in your pack and go camping, and it's refreshing after a hike, or we got a lot of guys and girls at the brewery who love to go kayaking and things like that. And this is perfect. I try to stay away from that. I've had some injuries. I've floated down. Last time we floated down, this is kind of playing into the whole idea of having a brewery rep here, is that we floated down the French Broad, and I was with one of the reps who now she works for Dogfish Head, and we were floating down and our raft malfunctioned.
How's a raft malfunction?
We probably took it over a rock and some barnacles.
So rubber raft.
Yeah, inflatable. It pops. We're sitting there and all we have is the cooler float. So I am not the largest human being, but I'm far from a baby. Mm-hmm. And she's not exactly, petite. She's a beautiful lady, but she's not 5'1", 88 pounds.
Right.
So we have to squeeze into an inflatable cooler float. So think about like an igloo cooler.
But you had beer.
And 2 of us. No, we had to throw the beer into another thing, and we had to paddle, and a lightning storm hits.
Oh, wow.
So we're literally just paddling down the French Broad. We hop out underneath the bridge, which, there we go. Cue the Anthony Kiedis, singing.
Yeah,
because I believe I saw Fleeing Anthony Kiedis inspecting, needles into their bloodstream under the thing, just making sure that they worked. And here I am with cut up feet, with a little raft that's about the size of a pillow, and the 2 of us get out and it's lightning, and they look at us and go, "Hey man, what's up?" And I was just like, okay, I could either just say pass the needle or let's get an Uber or something and get the hell out of here. So we got out of there. And,
so you went to Uber, okay. This is probably a smart idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to let the black tar sit for a little while.
There you go.
I'm trying to kick that. trying to get off the spike. That's great. They'd probably fire me if they knew I was, up under the bridge with Anthony Kiedis and a 6-pack of the Citra Gose.
They may approach you, like, if you get Anthony Kiedis as a marketing person.
We could.
We'll ignore all the things that we have seen.
That's right. Yeah, I bet Anthony Kiedis doesn't even drink anymore.
Oh, I highly doubt it, man. This dude had a crazy life. You know what we're talking about, right?
No.
So he's the lead vocalist of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
He's got a biography that's...
I knew I'd recognize the name.
That dude's biography is fucked up.
Yeah, they lost several people for ODs.
Yeah.
Like Khalil, that was one.
I'm surprised
he still alive? Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
The dude has been doing like hardcore drugs since he was 14.
Okay.
That's a
crazy book.
Underrated band. Underrated.
Yeah.
Saw them one time in Charlotte with Snoop Dogg.
Nice.
You've seen Red Hot Chili Peppers live?
With Snoop Dogg.
And
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg comes out on the encore and they do Give It Away.
Oh my god.
And Snoop Dogg's the one going, give it away, give it away, give it away.
Yeah. But that's amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty cool.
I'm very jealous.
It was cool. Yeah, it was. It was before both of them had sort of like entered the old folks' home,
Oh.
I mean,
oh my god.
Snoop Dogg's doing like a TBS Joker's Wild show now. Like, he's like Richard Dawson now. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, and I think Red Hot Chili Peppers is pretty much they pretty much sort of like faded away. I know that Flea does a bunch of stuff with Tom York from Radiohead.
But is that still relevant?
Yeah, what's the name of that band?
I don't know. I haven't listened to anything relevant from RHCP in years. I listened to them a lot in high school.
Yeah.
But that was probably the last time.
Still good, though. Still good.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen back and I'm like, you guys, even like the old music, still good. I'm like, I don't feel like that was only an era relevant music.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things. I grew up in Augusta, Georgia, and I listen to that. It's got so much like James Brown and funk and like that Parliament and the Bootsy Collins sort of element to it, and they toured with Snoop Dogg. I mean, what more do you need?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, didn't you say there was a James Brown event going on?
Yeah, there's a James Brown dance party at the Poorhouse.
Yeah.
What the fuck you know about that?
They do it all the time.
Yeah.
Do they?
Two, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, there's high wire beer there. You can drink it.
We'll go and we will drink it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to miss that.
Yeah.
James Brown dance party? Come on.
Well, let's backtrack for a second.
Yeah.
So, how did you get involved with this whole high wire brewing rep thing, whatever that you're doing right now? How did you get involved?
Well, I worked for 12 years for 2 different distributors. So I worked for Ben Arnold Beverage, which is now Breakthrough Beverage, and then I worked for R&DC, Republic National Distributing Company. And those 2 companies are about to merge, so to speak. So I worked for them more in the wine business. I work doing some of the code words that people don't know, and I guess this is really a part of why we're here. Is so they break the business up. Distributors break the business up into sort of liquor and wine, and then there's usually some distributors that are just beer. So it's all over the map. I think there's something like 22 different distributors in South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you have...
And then North Carolina doesn't have distributors, right?
They do, yes.
They do.
But the state regulates everything that goes through.
Okay.
So they regulate pricing and things like that. But like in South Carolina, what they do is they usually break it up as there's a spirit side and then a wine side. And within the wine side and spirit side, they break that in half and they do what's called off-premise and on-premise. And it's just as simple as this. Off-premise is when you purchase the product and take it off-premise. So that's retail, like, liquor stores.
It's like a non-bottling
bottles, Publix, things like that. It's where you go to a retailer, purchase it there, and take it off. On-premise is where you purchase it there. So restaurants, bars, things like that. So that's how that works. And I've worked both sides of that. But basically, on-premise is where I've done most of my stuff. So I worked in that area for about 12 years. And then, I met up with these guys. We are owned by 2 guys, Chris Rosacker and Adam Charnak. There's a few other little fun investors, but those are the 2 guys who are running the program day to day. And literally kind of met them, got turned on to them through them coming into the South Carolina market in October, 3 years ago, October 15, and reached out to them. They were, brought me in, we interviewed, and next thing I knew, I was the 3rd or 4th rep.
Oh, wow.
The 3rd or 4th person they'd hire. So when I started almost 2.5 years ago, I think we had probably like 18 or 20 employees, and we were in 4 states. Now we're in 7 states, and we have close to 50 employees. So we've almost, within that 2.5 years, doubled.
Sure.
And I think our production has tripled or quadrupled in terms of barrel production.
It sounds more like way more than doubled, at least, expansion-wise.
Yeah, I think, I don't want to put an exact number, but I think we were just shy of 15,000 barrels last year. So when you put that in perspective, if a lot of the crowd is Charleston-based or South Carolina-based, it would be one of the bigger breweries in Charleston. Westbrook is bigger, Palmetto is bigger, but other than that, it would be in that sort of Holy City range. I think that they do about 10 or 12.
I mean, Holy City is one of our favorites anyway, so
Yeah.
you're hitting the same
very
area
much.
that we love to tap. So it's
very
great.
much. And I think Holy City is now in 3 states. So yeah, they have such potential. Love those guys.
Only 3.
And they're expanding here.
Shout out to
in the
JT.
fall. They're expanding another tap room in the fall.
Yeah, well, I think they got a place over on Sproul Avenue.
Right.
So then you'll have that whole brewery district there. We can get into that, but
what else is on Sproul?
Well, I guess it's so you have like.
I mean, it's in a similar
that
area. So you got
street.
Coast, you got Common House Airworks, you got all those things.
Then you go down, you have Lo-Fi,
Okay.
Edmonds Oast,
Well, yeah,
Tradesman's
that
about
whole
to open.
that whole Upper King area.
Yeah.
You know, for the
Fatties,
listeners who don't know.
Fatties, Munkles. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah. Cooper River.
So that's a lot.
Oast. There's like 8 breweries in that little
within
strip
a 2-mile
right there.
little area right there.
Yeah. Very similar to what we talked. This kind of is a callback to like the South Slope that I was describing earlier in Asheville. That's kind of what that area is going to be. It's going to be one of those things where they're going to build bike paths and stuff, and you're just going to stumble to each one of those breweries.
Fucking deal, man.
Yeah.
You buy one trip down there.
Yep.
We need that in
Buy one
Somerville.
trip back.
8
we
of
do
you.
need that in Somerville.
It's like
one brewery
Help
up
us
there
out
right
here, man. Bring more breweries to Somerville.
it's like my what's the line in Days Confused? It's like my captain said, 50 going on the mission. 25 of you ain't coming back. That's how it'll be down there. You know,
that's
8
the
of you are going drinking.
That's the Army.
Only 4 coming
Only
home.
4 of you are getting in the Uber home.
That's a good night.
Or day. That seems to be the thing here is the day.
I really hope I'm one of the 4 coming home.
That's right.
It's like what you're striving
We'll
for.
get you one of those little life alerts, those little medic. I think
We should do
for the
that.
old people that have I've fallen and I can't get up.
We'll
you just
start
push
one.
it and you're like, I'm hammered and I can't get home.
Okay, so less drastic. We'll do like a beer
A beer alert.
Yeah, beer alert.
Just beep beep.
So before your buddy disappears, if you're concerned about him, you hit
Before
that
your
button.
buddy disappears.
Yeah,
And we'll start tracking his
we
whereabouts.
gotta watch it. I think that the new Holy City place is gonna be on the water, so we
Right.
might want to get
What?
some water wings. Yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
little.
they'd be across the water from Coast. Yeah, you could throw a stone
yeah.
and
Awesome.
hit the brewery.
I heard
How
rumors.
realistic can you actually throw a stone?
I heard rumors they were looking to buy some kayaks, some rafts, and things like that, where you could just float across to both breweries. Yeah.
We're going to have those guys on Monday night. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's what we're planning on. So
Which
Yes.
which
we'll
guys?
find out.
Which
Holy
one?
City.
Yeah. Oh, great guys.
Yeah.
JT, Chris, Joel. I mean, they're the we made a collaboration beer with them about 2 years ago. It was delicious, and they're probably some of the nicest guys in town
Fantastic.
to deal
I mean,
with.
It's my number one spot to go.
Yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
were there
Love those
earlier
guys.
today.
Here in town, obviously. But
Yeah. Love those guys.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my
So
gosh.
from Augusta, so you live where now? You
I live on
in
James
North
Island.
Carolina?
I live on James Island.
Oh, James Island.
I
That's
live
what
on
you
James
mentioned.
Island. I've been on James Island for many years, but for me, I'm traveling mostly the coastal areas of South Carolina and Georgia. But I do go up to like Augusta and that area too, just to, old stomping grounds, et cetera. But yeah, mostly that. And I do get up to Asheville, I'd say quarterly. Used to be a little bit more, but I'd say quarterly, just for meetings. Sometimes, we take distributors up there. That's a part of the thing is like, so I went from working for a distributor to now working for a brewery. And that term is to be a supplier. Yeah. So I'm the one who's like supplying the product. So I went from sort of selling directly to customers. That was my main thing, managing accounts, managing folks, managing people. Now my job is still, I'm involved with accounts, calling on accounts, but it's a bigger picture because I'm actually calling on accounts. I'm looking at like Harris Teeter as a whole.
Oh,
I'm looking at Publix as a whole.
You mean like a whole as in the entire United States?
Well, yeah, like,
or like specifically like the East Coast,
or for like where we distribute. So we're in. That's a good place to start with this. We are in 7 states. I believe we go up to Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. And there's rumors about some more expansion or whatnot. But, like, for me, I look at it breaks down to in my territory. I think I have something like 19 or 20 Harris Teeters.
That's awesome.
Publix is somewhere there. Walmart is actually one of the bigger ones. Because when you go up to, like, Myrtle and, like, Florence, in that area, those little Walmart, they have these little Walmart, general stores is what they call them. Neighborhood general stores. Those things are, they're... there's more Walmarts than there are stoplights in some of those towns. It's the truth.
And they hold high wire. I would have never thought about Walmart with craft beer ever.
They've changed.
Never.
They have to.
For sure.
To put it in perspective, for me working in it, you guys that are passionate about it, it's kind of mostly all we drink. 8 times out of 10, if you're drinking a beer, it's going to be craft beer.
Yep.
Same thing with your listeners, but when you break it down, I want to say that craft beer in the total beer market, it's only about 20%. There's still those.
Shit.
Yeah, it might be 23.4 if I had to, fact check me on that. But it's one of those things where it's still the little guy. But there's 7,000 breweries that are craft, Wow. But it's just, think about it. Next time you go out, just take a look. It's Bud Light. It's Miller Coors, it's those things that are just, it's still that way. It's changing.
Yeah.
That gap is closing every minute, every hour, that sort of thing. But it is one of those things where, you forget when you become so engrossed in selling craft every day, being around it, going to festivals, you just assume that it's so much more.
Is it bigger than you think it is? Yeah, agreed, yeah. I was at a wedding this weekend, and they had just like an easy drinking lager, for example. It was Oak Road. It was local. It was on tap. And literally 90% of the people that went up and ordered beer ordered a can Coors Light.
Yeah.
Even though an exact replica of that beer in a craft version, which is immensely better.
Handcrafted.
Just leagues better. Your drink, you chose to drink stale piss when you could have an actual beer.
It's called a Coors Latte.
Right.
And no one drank it. It was crazy. There's still like a half a beer left.
Yeah.
I think me and my partner that were filming drank most of that keg by ourselves, and it was insane. I would watch people go up and order Coors. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You didn't even try it.
Well, a lot of it has to do with sort of the stigma that people have that craft beer is this sort of it's 9%. It's heavy. It's going to make me fat. Things like that. What makes you fat is that you drink 20 of any beer. It's yes, a Sierra Pale has got probably 3 times as many calories as a Coors Latte. But the thing is that you're drinking, you're not having 3. Yeah. Sorry, maybe that's me, and that may be, my admission of alcoholism, but 3 Coors Lights is literally, that's just like elevator music.
Right.
And, heck, our lager that we have is, it's like you said, easy to drink, 4.5%. I was at a working festival last weekend, and that's all I drank. And, it's like the best festival beer. It's the best beach beer. It's the best day beer because, you don't have to pace yourself. But at the end of the day, when you wash a few of those down, there's a couple thousand calories and probably a huge late night hunger pains that are gonna set in at about 11:30 at night.
Yeah, depending on your rate of consumption.
Yeah. Which is
for me, I have a problem. I consume pretty quickly. Man.
Yeah, mine is.
Your late night would be my early evening.
Yeah. Well, for me, it just depends on when I start, and usually it's early in the ball game, especially on a festival. When we have that's the other thing about this festival coming up. Noon to 7. That's mine. It's noon to 7. Are they just is that one of those things? 50 of going in the jungle. 25 of you ain't coming back. Yeah.
Dude, noon to 7, you expect like
for
2/3 of the people are done.
$25, all you can drink, noon to 7. I mean, literally. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, literally. They need
fucking no one's surviving that.
They have a jump castle, and I think they just put the people in the jump castle. There's no kids there. Everybody's like, why is there a jump castle? Just to throw the drunk bodies into the jump castle.
They'll let them sleep in there until their taxi arrives.
Yeah.
No, that was in Atlanta?
No, that one's the one that I went to was in Aiken. It was Aiken Bluegrass. But the one this weekend is down at Patriots Point.
Right.
That's a big one. But yeah, I guess I got to digress back to getting into the beer business. So I got in the beer business.
Well, let me do this real quick.
Yeah.
We fact checked here. With over 5,300 breweries operating during the year 2017, small and independent craft brewers represent 12.3% of the market share by volume of the overall beer.
So I was wrong.
So like half of what you
I said
thought.
20. I said like 20.
In comparison,
but does that count like
2011 was 5.7%. So we've gone up to 12.3%.
It's almost tripled. Yeah. So maybe it is going to be.
But that was 2017, so maybe it's more than that this year. But
I want to say it's like 18 to 23% is what I saw.
Right.
And I guess if maybe some of the people don't count like Yingling and like Sam Adams who call themselves craft and things like that.
Well, I mean that's hard to call
stats
craft.
are. It's about the
Yingling. Come on.
Yeah. Fake news. It's all about the fake news.
But anyway, okay. I just wanted to look that up. So.
I don't think anyone's done that yet on our podcast. That was great.
Make America great again.
Yeah. But I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple make craft great. I've seen the one like make Coors Light great and get Coors Latte. Make Budweiser great. I mean, it's perfect. I've seen those hats around.
Never seen that.
It's funny. I mean, you can
well,
profit.
before we get off into what you were going to talk about, what do you think about InBev? I mean, like Wicked Weed. I mean, you're up in Asheville.
Yeah.
What do you think about Wicked Weed selling out to InBev?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've got a buddy who, the rep who works for Wicked Weed, and great guy. Like, nothing that he could control.
Right.
And he does his job. I think that it's one of those things where it's a great question that you ask, because I think it's one of those deals that if they would have sold to Constellation, or if they would have sold to sort of another conglomerate like the Shelton Brothers, or if they would have sold to, I mean, even like, say something like even Miller Coors. Nobody gave Terrapin a word. Lagunitas seems to get a pass for Heineken. Right. It's just that they sold to the Clydesdales.
Yeah.
I think that was one of those things, and I think a lot of it had to do with, was the attitude that they sort of carried themselves as like, we were this great, we're the best craft brewery and we're the greatest. And then you kind of go and make a business partnership with sort of like the evil empires, the way people look at it.
Right.
It kind of boggled people's minds. And I think that people went way overberboard about it. They gave Wicked Weed just the worst.
You're guaranteed that people went
they went overboard, but people need that in their lives. There are people out here struggling, making $30,000 a year and drinking $12 a pint beers. And they feel like they wanted Wicked Weed to be poor like them, and whatever.
That's terrible.
I think that it was one of those things where, if somebody offered you, $10 million.
Fucking, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a deal.
Exactly.
I don't even need to see the reasons. I'll sign right now.
But I'll admit, it bothered me in a way that, like,
come on.
It bothered me because, like, I just was like, it's more of a symptom of it's sort of all these breweries getting bought up. At some point, it's going to be like, well, where do we stop? When does it become too much? And if you look at what InBev's doing, like, look at all the breweries they bought. If you put it on a map, they've literally covered every market. Like, you've got, like...
Can you give us a few examples for our listeners?
Yeah, of course. So you've got, like, Goose Island.
Okay.
That's your Chicago.
That's a solid example.
Chicago, Midwest. You've got Golden Road. That's L.A. That's Southern California, that sort of area. You got Wicked Weed, which is the southeast, so that sort of area. You've got Devil's Backbone, so that's sort of like Virginia, D.C., that mid-Atlantic area too. And then you've got, I get these like Blue Point.
Wow, Blue Point.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And then you've got 10 Barrel, which is like northeast. So like they've literally, if you put it on the map, strategically, 100%, they're kind of having that. Yeah,
that's smart.
So if you look at it, they got nothing in Texas. Would not shock me if they bought something in Texas,
like Shinerbach or something, or
maybe
Shiner.
Something even different than that. But
Shiner is Shiner Craft.
No, but like something, they'll find something. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't grab something in Colorado too.
Oh, but you're right.
Got to be in Colorado if you're craft.
That's what I would be doing if I was them. I'd be all about it.
Yeah.
I mean, let me hit my...
And it goes into Miller Coors' backyard too. But if you think about InBev, they own them too. I mean, like, InBev owns pretty much all of Molson, everything but like Molson Coors. It's crazy. Right. I mean, they have like 70% of the market.
What a crazy spider web.
Yeah, and that's just in the United States. Think about globally what they have too.
My God, yeah, you're right. They're making so much money.
Yeah, and a lot of it buying the craft for them, it makes them be a player in the craft game in those regions, and that sort of thing. But like Constellation, look at what they did. They bought Ballast Point.
I've never heard of Constellation.
So Constellation is more of a wine and spirits company. Okay. They're a huge player in the game. So they own tons of wineries. They own like Robert Mondavi, Woodbridge, all those things that you see in the grocery store. Then they own like Svedka and things like that. Like, they own big players like that. And they're also in the beer game now. They own Corona, Pacifico, all that stuff. Negro Modelo Especial, all that. And now they own Ballast Point and Funky Buddha.
Funky Buddha. I just drank literally 2 Funky Buddhas today.
Yeah, we just had Constellation.
That's crazy. I did not even know that. I didn't even know that was...
Constellation is probably in that category with AB, with Molson Coors, with like E&J Gallo. That's another one. They do mostly just wine and spirits, but Constellation is a huge player. If you could look up like their annual revenue, it's billions on billions and billions of dollars.
We were supposed to have a guy here looking up shit today, but
no worries.
He's not.
No worries. I've already screwed up.
Well, I also told him not to come.
Yeah, $6 billion.
Yeah, 6.
That's a year.
That's crazy.
And then there's
Anheuser-Busch and Bev is $56.44 billion.
Yeah. Diageo.
Where?
So Diageo has beer brands too. They have Guinness,
Oh,
Red
my
Stripe,
God,
Harp, all that.
God, those are so big. Yeah. I know all of those.
Yeah, that's the rumor, and I don't. Nobody hold me against that. But the rumor is that Diageo wants to buy Creature Comforts.
Okay.
That's the rumor.
That's out of Florida, right?
Creature Comforts is in Athens, Georgia.
Athens, Georgia. That's right.
Which is second to Highwire is my favorite brewery.
Really?
Yeah, personally, I love that place.
It's good stuff.
I love that place. Anytime I'm up near Athens, I'm there.
Okay.
Love their beer. Love it. Everybody's kind of Tropicalia is what they're known for, an IPA, but I definitely I'm a Cocoa Bunny fan.
Cocoa Bunny.
Yes.
I haven't had that.
Yeah.
Cocoa Bunny.
Yeah, they just built a new brewery up there in Athens. It's huge. But yeah, Constellation, $6 billion. So that puts him at third? Brown-Forman's 3.08.
Brown-Forman, yeah.
Yeah, and Brown-Forman is Jack Daniels.
See, Constellation's so big. I didn't even see that. They're bigger than Anheuser.
No, because that's 56. They're third. So there's AB,
and then
Diageo, and then Constellation.
Okay, yeah, right.
$6 billion a year.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Especially not to even know their name.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows InBev. Everyone knows that name.
Yeah.
You hear any kind of beer.
So yeah, look at that. If you go to the subsidies and click Crown Imports over there on the bottom right. Under Constellation brands. Yeah, click that. More? Yeah, click Crown Imports. That'll list all the beers.
Oh, shit.
So, I guess, where does it show all that? Everyone.
You drink a lot of Wicked Weed?
I drink Wicked Weed. We're distributed by the same distributor.
Okay. You notice any difference between what they did before they got bought?
Crazy, not really. Not really. Just the things that I notice is that they are getting a lot more. There's a little bit more product available, and they are getting cut into sets. So that's another thing going into another terminology of that a lot of people don't understand. You just go into your grocery store and look. So there's a whole. When you walk into your grocery store and you stare at the beer aisle, that is set. That is predetermined, and Constellation does a lot of that, and it's called a planogram. So the next time you go in, there's a reason why it's set a certain way. So like you read left to right, or if you walk the aisle, whatever, there'll be a certain way it's set. And, a lot of places will do it. Like for us, we're a North Carolina brewery. You'll see us, we'll be next to, maybe next to Wicked Weed, maybe next to Highland, maybe next to Foothills, something like that.
Right. They're kind of
and sometimes it's just a craft section. Sometimes it's just 6-pack craft. But there's a planogram that is, maybe there's some guys playing golf and they go, I need to get my 12-packs in here. And they say, all right, if you make a birdie on the next hole, we're going to cut 4 more Funky Buddhas in. And then maybe a strip club after that or whatever. But so when you go in as a consumer, that is predetermined. And so that's where the thumb wrestling and the judo in the trenches occurs. Because then they will set that, and then it's up to the actual sales reps to keep those places, to keep them full, and it is dirty. There are sales reps that will hide tags, that'll move things out, cut things in. So like if they're getting a bonus on, say, the new Funky Buddha is now out. Yeah. Let's just use it. Sorry, Funky Buddha, we're not taking you personally. But let's say they come in and say, here's an incentive. You get $10 for every new placement you make. Well, a guy looks at it and he's got 12 grocery stores. So he's like, if I got 2 in every one, that's 24 at $10. That's $240. So he's going to go in there, look at that planogram, and I'm going to tell you what, he or she's not going to look at it and go, okay, let me cut my stuff out.
Right.
They're going to look at it and they're going to say, all right, I'm going to hide this. So it is, like I said, it's thumb wrestling and judo in the trenches. Wow. Dude, and so that's how that works.
It's so cutthroat.
It is. And it's the same way with wine, same way with, when you look at it, when you go in there, so often as a consumer, you're just going in, like, I need to grab my thing.
Yeah.
Let me grab my shit.
But the reason you would grab your shit, your thing, where it's at, is based on the planogram. Like, it's predetermined for you.
Yep.
What you expect to see, where you expect to see it.
When Chet, the rep, came in there with his tight khakis.
Which you're not wearing today.
I'm not. I'm in shorts. And, But, like, when he's in his tight, creased, pleated khakis and his boat shoes, and he comes in there and starts moving shit around and got his 2 new placements and got his money, then then the next rep comes in and they've got a, Constellation said, all right, I want, the new one is Corona Premier. It's like a low-calorie Corona.
Really?
So they're like,
that.
That is got to be, it's going to be.
I mean, it's less than Corona Light?
Yeah, I think it's like.
Do we even need to talk about it? Like, honestly?
No, but here's the thing. They'll put money into those reps' hands. Yeah. Like, they'll sit there and say, I mean, it'll be big money.
Of course.
Like, you're looking at
probably tastes like shit.
Yeah, you're looking at like, and they're like, if you do 25 cases, a 25 case display, and it could be $100.
Of course.
And if you do that 10 times, you've made $1,000. And that's kind of how the machine works behind the scenes. So, like, for your listener, when you go into Harris Teeter, Publix, Piggly Wiggly's coming back, Food Lion.
No, Piggly Wiggly's
They are. They bought some Bilos. They bought Bilos.
They just opened a couple
of Bilo, yeah, Bilo.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Piggly Wiggly?
The pig is back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm big on the pig. Yeah.
Big on the pig, motherfucker.
Hog wild.
Big middle finger in their bags. I would wear that. I'll make
I like the tie-dyed ones. But no, when you walk a store, when you're walking in grocery shopping, usually you're hungry or hungover or
you're going for a reason.
Yeah, but you don't sit down. Our job is to slow that process down and say, we have like a whole idea. We survey the store. So we walk the store counterclockwise, look for the spots where, so next time you go, look where things are merchandised. Look where the alcohol is. Look where the chips are. Bread is always up front. It's the most profitable item. It's $4 for a loaf of bread that costs 6 cents to make.
It'll ruin your life.
That's always up front. Yeah. But like, look where the beer and wine and things are now. And so when you look at that, there is a high traffic area, places where you'll get impulse buys, out of the aisle shopping, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And those folks, like the Constellations and the ABs of the world, that's where they can put money into. I mean, when you open up the little Sunday flyer, and it's like, suitcases. Well, that's a term that people 24 packs of Bud Light.
It's called a suitcase.
$2. Like something crazy like that, where it's like, where it's cheaper than what they sell it for.
Even
because
if it's $2 cheaper, people are like,
they're striking a check.
I need it now.
And that's what's called a loss leader. They are literally paying striking a check to Publix and saying, there's 660 Publixes. And they'll have a display in every one. So think about that. If they put 50 cases in every one, how many thousands upon thousands of cases is that, to where that's just right there in your... But what better advertisement is there than when you walk in the grocery store and your baby stroller rams into a mountain of Bud Light, you remember that.
Yeah.
And you just say, $9.99, it just falls in the cart. And you don't even go on that beer aisle to look at what else is there. You don't need to. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. They beat you to it.
Yeah.
And speaking of beating you to it, we have so many more beers to drink.
Yeah. Let's go for that.
We are over halfway through this podcast, man.
Well,
let's go for that low pitch.
We're almost an hour.
Low pitch?
Yeah, so this next one is a newer beer for us, but it is a year-round. And it's kind of in that vein of an IPA.
Is that the Gose? It is the Gose.
No, it's an IPA. So it's a juicy IPA.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we just drank the Gose. We'll do the low-pitch IPA.
Well, they can't even hear me, so it's okay.
That's fine.
Caleb is in the refrigerator trying to find a beer over here.
Yeah, I'm fucking it all
an
up.
IPA.
This is what Brian pours everything, and I just sit here and record and drink it.
Right, so we got the low-pitch juicy IPA. So this is a take on the New England style IPA?
No, we don't. It's not. I won't say it's New England. There's a little haze to it, but we're not going... It's not a full on, that beer does go through the centrifuge. It is sort of like I call it a coastal IPA. Okay. I'm sure that, I hope no one from the brewery hears me say that, because we're in, like I said, 7 states. Right, but it's one of those...
You're on the coast. I mean, you're near the coast or whatever.
But it's under 5% ABV, and the IBUs on this are only 35. So it's not this super hot... some of the things that I find tough to deal with IPAs are they can get really resinous and piney, and they're delicious, but they're kind of give you a lot of palate fatigue, to where they sort of burn your palate down. This will not do that.
Hard to finish. Yeah,
this is for the beach, for the boat, for the golf course, for the drive home, that sort of thing.
Right.
And that's why I call it coastal IPA, because it's got a lot of really tropical notes on it, and it's just super easy to drink.
Okay.
So, cheers.
Oh, it smells wonderful.
Yeah. Cheers. And we call this, if you see the label, the sort of inside joke is horn dog.
Okay, you're going to explain
see
that.
Look.
Yeah, it's got a French horn on it.
So
French horn?
Yes.
Is that a French horn?
Yep. So all of our bottles, all the artwork is done by an artist. Her name is Charlotte Oden. Shout out to her. She lives up in Wilmington, North Carolina.
You got it?
Yeah, I'll write that down. Charlotte. I mean, it's awesome. I've duplicated her artwork when I worked at Lowe's Foods so many times, because we have to make our own beer signs. So
right.
Yeah.
What do I do for this? I'm like, oh, look, it's already been done. I can just copy it, put it back up there.
4.9% ABV, 35 IBUs, like you said.
ODEN for Odin.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's really no descriptions for high wire on here. Who does Does somebody load the?
If you go to our website, and everybody can go to our website.
Okay.
And it's highwirebrewing.com.
That's confusing.
It is very complex.
Yeah.
Especially after about 7 high wires.
Speaking of that, what is?
By the way,
while he's looking that up, what is your? I guess is it the lager that's probably your most popular?
So it depends by market. In a lot of markets, IPAs are what's leading the pack. The high pitch.
Is this a flagship?
Yeah, it would be one of those. So it'd be low pitch.
Oh, that's good. Flagship for Gose. Just like Gose's fucking IPA.
Yeah,
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. No, so yeah, our five core beers, flagship beers, are our lager, our brown ale, which is bed and ales, our high pitch IPA, our low pitch IPA, and then our regular Gose. We just had the specialty Citra Gose.
Okay.
But yeah, this is...
Well, at least the Gose is a flagship. I don't feel that terrible.
Right. This thirst-quenching, easy-drinking IPA packs a bright citrus hot punch, juicy American hops, and a light malt bill. Make low pitch the perfect pairing for sandy shores, mountaintops, or your bestie's birthday party. That's what it says.
It's great.
Yeah.
All year round, 12-ounce bottles, 12-ounce cans coming soon.
Cans are here. We've got 12-ounce cans. We will probably have them in Harris Teeter's shortly. They are at bottles. I think that they may be at Bill's for your Somerville people.
Yeah.
But I know that at bottles, they have bottles.
Right. Put that down.
They have cans at bottles. Cans at bottles. Bottles at bottles. Bottles usually does us. They're one of my favorite accounts in town. They, Zach, the buyer there, has a great set, and they treat us really well.
Right.
What is that? West Ashley?
That is in Mount Pleasant
Okay.
On Coleman Boulevard.
Okay, yep. I've heard a lot about bottles.
Yeah, I mean,
Total Wine is over in West Ashley. Bottles, Mount Pleasant. Bill's here in town.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are your main, segments of where
those are the independent. Yeah, we put that as independent retailers.
Shit, man. If we can get ourselves going, we'll be another one of those. Hopefully. Yeah. I would love a giant bottle section. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys got, bring it on.
Well, I did leave you some of those Cork and Cage 750s. That's for your.
We'll talk about
for another night. That's for the, special occasion. That's not for tonight.
We can crack that shit open on a special occasion.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, that's one of the things. Our sour program has really been one of the things that's just sort of really made working there so much fun. Is that we just came back from World Beer Cup. That was up in CBC, so the craft beer conference. So that's where they do the World Beer Cup. That was 2 weeks ago, and we got a bronze medal for our one of our sour program beers. Yeah, it's a dry hopped ale, and in that category, we're talking sour barrel aged beers, and that's a very elite category. And we got the third best one in the world. That's not American craft beer. That's the world.
What kind of barrels is that?
Yeah, well, give us a name.
So
here,
we use.
Let's give you a shout out here.
We use let's pull up everything if you have that there. We can pull it up, and so I don't get misquoted and they send me a pink slip and.
Damn it!
So where are we pulling it up on the website here? Or?
Yeah, we can do that if we just go under beer.
Let's just go back to beers.
Yeah. Go down to sour beers.
So right now, they are looking up
Here we go.
said beer.
So if we scroll down.
Here we go.
Yeah, look at those labels.
I didn't know you had this many fucking sour beers.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah,
these are cool bottles.
That's it.
I love these fucking bottles.
What is it? He found one. What is it?
Brett Pale Ale.
A Brett
Dry
Pale
hopped
Ale.
with, how you say that name? Halatu, Blanc, and Citra hops.
Yep.
Aged for 11 months, French oak white wine barrels.
Oh.
Red Myces, then bottle condition, more funky than sour, light in color, and hoppy.
It's only about 4.5% ABV too.
I mean, is that still available? Can we find that somewhere?
There might be a bottle or two out in the market. I would say check bottles in Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
You could maybe see that on the camera as we go.
Yeah.
Here, let me
But yeah, we've got a ton of.
So this is the bronze medal.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it better the way you had it.
Sorry.
Yeah, and shout out to our friends at Revelry. They won a gold in the.
They won a lot of gold.
I guess it was like the Doppelbock version.
Yeah.
Smooth like jazz or smooth as jazz. I think they won.
I was going to mention that, but I didn't know if you wanted to mention it.
No. Of course, man. They're friends. We're actually. It's a great way to advertise. They are doing the Funk Collective, so that is going to be June 30th at Revelry. So this kind of gets back to your discussion about Wicked Weed and Anheuser-Busch and things like that. This festival was born out of that because Wicked Weed always did the Funk Invitational. And so what happened was after they announced that they, got in bed with Anheuser-Busch, everybody pretty much canceled. Petty level 100 right there.
And they were even going to donate everything to charity.
So they went to.
People still backed out.
They went to Birds Fly South.
Yeah.
Birds Fly South hosted it last year. We participated, and so Revelry, Birds Fly South again. I love Birds Fly South. Maybe the best brewery in the state of South Carolina.
Their sour program is phenomenal.
Yeah. So they and Revelry teamed up and they said, look, let's just do it at your place one year. We'll do it at our place the next. So this year it's June 30th. And when this thing airs, this will be like 2 or 3 weeks before. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be like 50. Maybe you can pull that up. We can read off all the people that are coming. It's under Funk Collective. And I know that we're a part of it. We're going to bring some stuff down. Maybe this beer will be there at the thing. But I want to say it's like 40 breweries.
What type of Funk Collective? 2018.
Yep, that's it. And so that's going to be that June 30th. I think it's $70 to play. It's going to be so much fun. You will sweat your proverbial backside off. So it's what? Against the Grain, Almanac, American Solera, Anderson Valley, Birds Fly South, Blackberry Farm, Breakside, Captain Lawrence, Carolina of Our House, Commonwealth, Deciduous, D9, Edmonds O's, Fontaflora, Freehouse, Highwire, Holy City, Jolly Pumpkin, Nora, Ocelot, Revelry, Saint Somewhere, Salud, Von Seats, Theoreticals, Westbrook, Wooden Robot, New Belgium, Barrel Culture, Transient, Burial, Santandarius, Green Bench, Charlestown Fermentory, Bond Brothers. That's a really good brewery.
Wow.
Off-Color, Botanist.
And we covered maybe a fifth of those names on the actual website. That's a lot.
Yeah, so...
Scratch, Charlestown Fermentory. Scratch is a spinoff of Fontaflora, am I correct?
I think so, yeah. So there's $70 for tickets. I know we're bringing like 3 or 4 beers.
June 30th.
Yeah, so it'll be hotter than the devil's backside, but here's the thing. For $70, the style and quality of those beers is ridiculous. That is something that if you're local, you hit that up.
Yeah, we need to be there for sure.
June 30th. We'll definitely be there. I mean, if we can make it happen, we'll do a live show.
For sure.
Yeah, $70 for tickets, so it's a good deal.
That's a great... that's less than $1, almost less than $1 per brewery. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. It'll be the weekend after our festival.
That's crazy. That is a weekend after a festival. Speaking of that, we're having a festival. So we're doing a giant music festival right off the Ashley River.
Okay.
We're having a bunch of breweries donate beer, hopefully give back to the community, take a little bit for ourselves, and enhance what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Some local food vendors, local artists, local musicians.
Yep.
What's the date there?
June 24th.
We're hoping for the 24th.
Yeah.
It's Sunday 12 to 4 is what we're shooting for.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
if you're free, we would love to have you there.
Yeah. Where again on the Ashley? Is it over there by?
It's called Blackwater on the Ashley.
So is that over there by Freehouse and?
Oh no, that's way down in Charleston.
17.
No, this is up here.
Close to 61.
Okay.
Or is it off of 61?
Off of 17A.
Off of 17A.
Okay. I think I know where.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll drop a pin, put a little place mark, post a picture.
We'll post some stuff. We'll let you know.
Please.
Yeah.
Please, but this thing is going to be
That's going to be great.
It's a freak show. Yeah, it'll be great. Like
you know, it's kind of taking the place of the what was the thing they did at Coast every year?
Oh, the Brewvival. Yeah. I think they got to a point with that where.
I think they'll bring it back now that they're expanding and they're doing some different stuff over there. It's going to come back. But
it was just one of those things where they had it was a really great thing. I mean, it was a really great thing.
It was fantastic.
But it was so much work for them, and it turned kind of into like a slosh fest too, like where people were just really pounding out drinks, and that's kind of how it is. But it was also one of those things where you had a lot of people, a lot of breweries that weren't in this market. Didn't really translate for them to sort of be there and donate a bunch of time and beer, and they're not even distributed. And they were having to answer a bunch of like tough questions, like you'd get for every 10 people that knew what they were dealing with and just enjoying the experience, there's those 2 or 3 that are like, why can't I get this at the Publix, or why can't I get this? Where I live in Monk's Corner. Where do y'all sell this in Monk's Corner? And you're just like,
I love the accent.
You're like, we're not in South Carolina. Well, why are you here pouring for us?
Yeah.
God forbid you try something new, right?
Yeah, it's called marketing, honey. But
please do not spit your beer out, right?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where that's a great show for us, and it shows. And I think a lot of this comes back to sort of Charleston. We kind of spoke before we started recording about how Charleston sort of rates against other territories and how I spend my time on the road and things like that, where we have so many breweries here that by osmosis you kind of pick up the lingo, and you understand what a Gose is. You understand what's the difference between a New England style IPA and what's the difference between a West Coast style and things like that. What sour beer is. I mean, how many times I'm working across the Southeast and people are like, sour beer? Like, that means it's bad, right? Sour. Why would you want anything sour? My Bud Light's colder than an Eskimo's toenail. Like, I don't want no sour beer. And it's one of those things where you're just like, no, it's made that way. It's made that way. It'll have a flavor profile.
On purpose.
Yeah, and then you'd make a bad beer on purpose? Man, that don't sound smart to me. And I'm like, well, neither does, force feeding yourself Chick-fil-A 9 days a week. Right. But that's the other side.
I don't know, man. That's hard to argue.
Don't worry. I visit the holy grail of fast food too.
I can't tell you the last time I was at Chick-fil-A.
Nah, me neither. But
I can't back up.
We're not bashing on Chick-fil-A. Open on Sunday, please, Chick-fil-A.
Please.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just create another.
There is no better day for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Create another place.
Then your God's holy day.
Call it like.
I mean, if they opened it up on Sunday, I think they would triple their sales.
Well, they don't have to. They can just create another brand called like Lucifer's Hot Chicken or something, and then, just have it like.
Can we do that?
It's the same recipe. Lucifer's Hot Chicken. It serves beer, and like only shots. Like, you can't get a mixed drink. Yeah. Like, can I get a bourbon and Coke?
Oh,
the only Coke we put in our bourbon. Never mind. But it's one of those things.
I love it. Lucifer's Chicken.
Lucifer's Hot Chicken.
Hot Chicken. You got it, man. I love
and it's owned by Chick-fil-A. Like, they have to own it. Like, on the slide.
Do they have to? Because if I open this room, they're not.
It's only open on Sunday.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it opens at 12:01 Saturday night.
Man.
And closes at 11:59 Sunday night.
Oh my God, I'm loving that.
Yeah.
I love it too.
So fantastic.
It's like the Devil's Waffle House.
Yes. 1 day a week. We kill it.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I think that is the best
and
idea
if I can only have to work 1 day a week, I'll be happy.
Sure.
And I'll give it all. I'll give you 120%.
It's one of those places. Once we're sold out, we're sold out. We close at 1 o'clock, we're closed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to really ruin what we have going so far.
And we're open on Christmas Day.
Well, because Christmas doesn't exist.
100%.
And
Like, we're on,
Lucifer's Hot Chicken.
No.
Anyway.
No, he's like, my enemy was born on that day. But I'm digressing.
I have to pee so badly.
You go ahead. We can still talk.
All right. If you guys want to talk without me, that's fine. But I can pause it. We can take a pee break if anyone else needs a pee.
Let's do that.
Yeah, okay. Pause it.
All right. We're going to pause it for a second. Play some music. You guys enjoy Slayton Johnson for the first time during the break. All right. What else? You want to do another high pitch or you want to do something different? Because
put that shit over here on the couch, man. The high wire sign.
We have
put it right there, back there on the couch.
We got about 40 minutes left.
There you go. Nice.
There you go. Show that shit off. Do you want to do the same beer? How many you brought?
I got one more.
One more. Okay.
The lager. So we'll finish with the lager.
Okay.
This way we can share this.
Oh, do you have a?
I got one.
Oh shit.
You would think that I would.
Well,
professional, occupational hazard, I guess is what you'd call that.
Right. All right, as you open this, I'll tell you what I was talking about before we start recording. It was a show going on in Myrtle Beach that I really wanted to go to with a buddy of mine.
And what, like the House of Blues or something? Or?
Yes, I think it was in the House of Blues. Where the fuck was it? It really doesn't say. It just says Myrtle Beach. Oh no, it was House of Blues. I'm sorry. Parkway Drive, which is good. I don't really care for them so much, but it was August Burns Red, The Devil Wears Prada, and Polaris. Those are the main ones that I really wanted to see, the last three. So I really wanted to be in...
Hard to believe that's an IPA.
Myrtle Beach.
It is.
Beforehand.
Very different. I mean, it's unique, for sure.
Yeah, but it's good. It's easy to drink.
It's good.
Like, it is
like it's not like I said, in-your-face hops. It's not the juicy New England style. It's kind of in the middle. It's like
some of those can get really, really, really like palate fatiguey, burn you up. They have like tannins. Like you're almost drinking like something that kind of gives you like that acidity and that like quench, but it also like weighs the tongue down and like literally takes like you know your taste buds are straining for anything after that.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, it's really important with food too. Is like to have something that doesn't overwhelm the food. I mean, it's kind of like 101, and that's where craft beer sometimes really like misses the point.
Right.
Oh, are we back on? Are we recording?
No, we're back on. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got the camera on. We got the
so you can lay into it, man.
No. I think. Well, that kind of gets into, if we can digress on that. I think one of the points is a lot of people ask us like, what does high wire mean? You know, high wire is a name that they came up with to really describe the style of beers we make. Yes, we'll do a handful that are just kind of over the top and fun that we like to have a good time with. But for the most part, and from what we've drank tonight, it's balanced beers. You know, our logo is a walker on a tightrope.
What do you have to do on a tightrope?
You have to be balanced.
Got to be fucking
balanced.
And
so the beers
perfect.
The beers are balanced. We're making beers for people who like to drink beer. You know, I know that sounds very sort of cliche, but it's so you can drink a few of them and not, you know, fall on your face. You want them to taste good. You want them to pair with food. You want them to be consumed year-round, no matter the place, no matter the time, and enjoy them just as much. And I think one of the things that we also do is to do that, you're not over hopping things. You're not over, you know, you're not playing the acid up high. The ABV is in check. Our core beers, our highest ABV is on the high pitch, and it's like 6.7. That's the highest. We go from like 4.2 to 6.7. And that's the world that we live in on our core beers. Most of our other beers stay within that. We do a handful of beers that crawl into double digits. And that's just kind of because we make a Doppelbock that's 10%. We've got a twice as nice. We've got a tropical golden strong ale out right now. It's about 11.5. And that thing will it is strong.
And I mean, almost the same conversation we had last night with Oak Road Brewing Company. I don't want to
throw
another brewery in there, but they're saying the same thing. They're very sessionable. They try and keep things low ABV. People can come in and get out of there without having to Uber home. You know, nice, easy drinking, low ABV.
Yeah.
You're not getting in trouble.
And I think the thing too is to sort of take it to a different.
And I think it's a trend that is coming.
100%.
Used to be you wanted the highest ABV you could get and the stupid hops and whatever, and now it's kind of coming back down.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is too what we don't talk about a lot, in the market is consistency. It's having consistency to where you're going to pick up that bottle of beer in March or in September in Atlanta, in Charlotte, in Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to taste the same. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is work in the lab.
That's super important.
Our head brewer, Luke Holgate, is sort of a science first guy. Like
That's
he
awesome.
works the lab. And that's one of the things that I feel like a lot of the smaller breweries really need to sort of get to that next level is lab work.
Okay.
Is actually using science as a main part of what you're doing.
Write that shit down.
I mean, I think there is an artistry to brewing. It's kind of like a chef, things like that. But when you look at it, having lab work, getting consistency, one of the things that we've done is by using the lab, what people don't understand is when we say we've got a 90-barrel fermenter, usually we're only going to get about 80 barrels out of that 90 barrel. There's going to be runoff. There's going to be waste. We're bottling. There's spillage. There's all kind of things. So one of the things what we can do is like by using the lab is making sure that we're consistently producing the same amount in each batch run, having the right temperature, having the cellar produce the best transfer from the brew house to the tank. And that way, we're able to produce more beer at the same price. We're able to have a consistent product, so you're going to get it fresh wherever you go. And that's the thing that we don't really talk about is sort of that lab game, that sort of like the white jacket and the beaker. And like looking at, it's hugely, and when we look at these smaller folks, and I won't call anybody out, but that's one of the things that I see is sort of like, when somebody big gonna come to Charleston so that they can provide a lab. One of the things that really helped the Asheville brewing scene, and a lot of them had their own labs, and we do, but Sierra Nevada has like in that Willy Wonka factory, they have one of like, I've heard everything from like the best beer laboratory in the world to like the third biggest lab on the East Coast, like only the FBI and have a bigger crazy things. I don't know what's true because I'd have to get somebody to verify that.
Yeah, it's like a lore type thing.
I have.
Have you been there?
I have.
Sierra Nevada?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man.
It's fantastic. Just like you said, Willy Wonka.
Can we go up there on the way to Tennessee?
About $418 million they spent on that place.
It is phenomenal.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I misunderstood what you just said.
Yeah.
Will you say that again?
Yeah, there's a couple commas in that. 418 million.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you?
And I don't know, it may be more than that, but
I could spend all weekend there without a doubt.
That's beautiful.
It's a destination.
Well, I mean, I heard rumors that the driveway costs like $10 million.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the road up is
It's all hand stoned. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful.
We need to go ASAP. If you haven't been.
It's beautiful.
Dude, we're going
and they have been great stewards. They didn't come in and say like we're the greatest. We're the best. They've come in and said use our lab. Use our lab. Do testing on your wood for Brett. What do you need to do? That sort of thing. Yeah, they've been great.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's super. That's actually exact opposite of what you would expect, but exactly what you hope would be in the craft brewery.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like that's kind of another thing. Is like there's a big difference. Like I said, I sold wine for many years, and it was really, really competitive. Again, I use the term thumb wrestling and judo in the trenches. I totally steal that from Hunter S. Thompson. But it's one of those things where the one thing about beer is, yes, it is competitive, but there seems to be a collective cooperation that exists. It's not like sort of petty backstabbing and things like that. We did a festival this weekend with New Belgium. I work hand in hand. I'm tossing New Belgium kegs. They're grabbing high wire kegs. We're working together. I have great friends. Like that's kind of how we're here. Is when I saw you guys at Lowe's Foods down the street. Is I think that there's over 20 beer reps that live in Charleston, where you've got folks that work for Brooklyn. You've got folks that work for Lagunitas. You've got Ballast Point. You've got Highwire. You've got New Belgium. The list goes on and on and on. And we, interact and cooperate. And, we may, bump into each other a little bit. But it's, for the most part, everybody seems to be very cooperative with each other. It's not a, backstabby sort of community.
Well,
there's probably a few people that want to, chop my head off like Marie Antoinette or something like that.
It's kind of like the beer scene in general. I mean, most breweries kind of work together. It's not like a cutthroat.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
When it comes to craft beer, the more you build up other craft beers, the more
your business comes.
Scene
grows together. The higher the tide, the more boats rise. Yeah.
And I
like that now.
Honestly, every single brewery you just mentioned, I love. So
yeah.
If you guys are representatives, bring it on. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be great. And I mean, I think we should build to maybe where we have like a group thing where we have a podcast where we just tell all the stories of like things that have happened to us on the road.
Next time you're on here, I want to hear just solely.
Oh man, we just do tell. Oh gosh.
This is like a Highwire introductory, and then the next one. We'll get your dirty
laundry. We'll get the dirty laundry out.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this. I won't name any names, but I did see a 295-pound man fly out of the back of a golf cart on Saturday afternoon. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Love you, JP.
Was it on purpose?
Was it at a golf course? Or
no. It was at this festival. We were loading up kegs, and it was like a one of these like Yokohama, Yokozuku, like one of these like golf carts or like where you shoot deer off the back. It's one of those things.
What?
It's like an ATV almost.
There's not a golf cart that you go deer hunting with.
Oh, it literally is. This thing is like. It's at the border, this is like, could chase down anybody. This thing's it's a 5-speed,
It's 5-speed golf cart.
Yeah, it's like a golf cart with steroids. It's like what Barry Bonds would drive.
Oh my God.
But no, it's
shots fired.
We're just yeah. Come get me, Baroid.
Baseball player, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all know who Barry Bonds is.
No, we do, but some other people might not know.
Everyone knows who that is.
They do. 73 home runs.
You're right.
No, I mean, things like that. I mean, I can tell you, before I don't want to spoil the big one, we can have a couple folks in, but I mean, I've seen it where there was a rep who we were actually at the Charleston Beer Festival, Beer Garden, and there was some woods. And they just couldn't wait to get home to show their affection for each other. And just the woods were the best thing to show their affection for each other, to express their love. And it just so happened that they found a poison ivy patch to go express their deep physical attraction for each other. And they had imbibed enough 9% ABV IPAs that they came back glowing, literally, and they went on with their business for the last 20 minutes of the festival and did not show symptoms because they were so drunk.
Yeah.
And the next morning they both woke up and thought it was like a huge venereal scare, but it was actually, they both went to the hospital thinking that they had contracted some like apocalyptic STD, but in reality, they just dropped their pants into a poison ivy batch, and then when they pulled them back up, they brought the poison ivy with them.
What a great story!
Yeah, so there's plenty of stories like that.
Wow.
That's fucking awesome.
So the moral of the story is get to the house to show your affection. Or at least a car, for God's sake.
Nature is unforgiving.
My face hurts. I love it.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Oh, they thought it was some sort of like, Martian STD that had attacking them both.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of new strain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you write that down? What time is that?
It's 1:35.
1:35?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
That was so funny.
So that's the tip of the iceberg. There are more. And the thing is, like I said, there's 20 other reps. They will tell you stories. I've broken ribs at company sales meetings where I've fallen down cliffs. I tried to jump off. There's this old.
What kind of business?
These old
concrete.
concrete.
Like he said, I tried.
These old concrete. Those old concrete picnic benches.
Sure, man.
I thought that they were glued together, but evidently that just the top of them are just sitting there. And I tried to jump off of it onto this hammock, and I go and put my front foot on it, and it just flips up and hits me. And one of our reps sees it, and I'm gasping for air. She thinks I've swallowed my tongue. She sticks her hand down my throat,
right?
And I'm like, I'm trying to breathe, and I can't breathe because you've got a fist against my esophagus.
Oh my goodness!
I can't. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, I've lost my breath because a concrete table has hit me right in the diaphragm. I think I broke a few ribs. There's like blood trickling down. We go in and play like Cards Against Humanity like nothing had happened. I'm bleeding on the rug. Yeah, there's tons of those stories, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
This business is dangerous.
It can be. It can be.
I'm fucking crying over here.
Yeah. No, but it's definitely one of those things where you will meet some interesting people in this business. And there is so much that goes into it. I mean, like I said, with this festival I worked, we were loading up these aggressive, golf carts with kegs and kegs of beer. This festival we went through 300 cases of beer, 75 half barrels, and maybe 50 sixtels in 2 days. And so, that's what people don't understand is who's changing the kegs,
75 half barrels.
Yeah, who's adjusting the gas, who's adjusting. Like, we ran out of gas. Like, the CO2 runs out in the middle of the festival.
Of course,
there's 5,000 people noodling and high on God knows what, Adderall, crack.
Noodling, what does that mean?
That's a dance, like we're on the the noodle.
I got you.
Yeah,
Right.
But like somebody's got to change those kegs. Somebody's got to make sure we have fresh beer.
Not noodlers.
God forbid the CO2 isn't working to provide the right type of pour, or it's overly foamy.
Oh yeah,
things.
if your ratios are not on point, you're fucked.
So that's kind of what we do in terms of like working those festivals and like setting up at crack of dawn and then breaking it down. We were breaking down stuff at 3:30 in the morning, Saturday night after the show. Yeah, things like that. I slept in the back seat of my car.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to, but you don't have a choice.
Before we force you to do that again, or maybe we will, we need to open up the last one.
Okay, the lager. If you want to get a lager.
I'll go get it.
Yeah.
I'll go get it.
We got 15, 20 minutes.
We got about 20 minutes left.
Right.
Cool.
We want to make sure that we keep you within the time frame.
Yeah.
And we save enough for later.
Yeah.
So we can have you back on because, it sounds like you got...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll have to bring...
so much information.
Yeah.
This is more than one episode.
Yeah. We'll get... And, maybe we'll get one or two more folks, other ones, and we can just do like a your weirdest story episode.
Excuse me?
2 or 3.
Let's start with 2.
Yeah, just 2's good.
Yeah. All right, man. You're the border.
So this is last but not least. This is kind of what we're known for is our lager, and it's probably one of my. It's my favorite beer that we do.
What the hell is that?
You're not talking about water.
The water?
Yeah, I said, fuck you, water. I don't need you.
It's good that it's water, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good way to hydrate the couch.
Yeah. The carpet needs a little.
It was
hydration.
dehydrated.
Well, that's one thing. Is like as we enter.
I clearly didn't
summer.
need it.
That's one of the things that's. Oh.
All right, here we go.
So this is our lager. This is my favorite beer. in the portfolio, just because it is what it says it is. One of the things that we do with this beer is it's lagered so long. I mean, it can depend, but most of the time it's close to 60 days.
What temperature do you know?
Days.
What's that?
What temperature?
I'd have to ask Luke, but it's to do it that long. I mean, it is a bottom fermenting a beer. So, but when you
40s,
think
50s, somewhere in there.
Somewhere, I'd say like mid 40s to low 50s. But it's one of those things when you look at other lagers, you're looking at like a Budweiser's like 20 to 25 days. You look at like Heineken, it's like 28 to 30 days. Yeah. Like Grolsch, things like that. Other like Pilsners, maybe 35 days. But we're going north of 55 days here.
So definitely extra.
So unfiltered, yeah. Not many lagers out there that's going to be unfiltered. It's unfiltered.
Okay.
It's going to have just this really golden color to it. Being a bottom fermenter, it's going to really clean itself out as it comes from the bottom and sort of overfills itself on the top. Just a beautiful lacing head here.
Can we cheers? While you continue.
Cheers. Cheers.
This is.
Thanks.
Thanks,
guys. A little over 4% alcohol. It's one of those things where.
Ooh, nice. Little sweetness.
Yeah.
Light.
There's a viscosity that's a little deeper and more pronounced than say like again, we're comparing this to what most people out there will know is like a Coors Banquet or a Budweiser.
Right.
I think because it's long in the fermentation style, it doesn't have that sort of like some lagers will have that like metallic or like the beech wood, that sort of like woody backside on the palate where you kind of like it tastes really cool and crisp on the front, but on the back there's something it doesn't sit right with you. This is really light, easy to drink. In my mind, I talk to a lot of accounts that are, really crafty accounts that don't want to pour sort of a domestic lager. This is where you go right here. Like, because we are a tourist city and we want to have, options for those people coming from Ohio and things like that, where they go, I want a Bud. Yeah, I want a Bud. Well, we don't have Budweiser, but this.
Why would you ignore the clientele that way?
Yeah.
That's dumb. I think this is a brilliant craft option.
Yeah. And for me, who loves craft, this is what I drink on a Saturday afternoon after I cut the grass or after I go to the beach or whatever.
I can see that, for sure.
It's just perfect. And we're serving these at like good temperatures. If you got this thing, like I said, cold enough to freeze an Eskimo's hand, like Ric Flair would say. Shout out to Ric Flair. Love you, Rick.
That's so cool.
Woo! Yeah, he'd go, I got a beer in my hand cold enough to freeze an Eskimo's hand. Yeah. But it's easy to drink. It's just perfect. And it's got the depth and sort of intellect to it that makes it.
I'm going to write down Ric Flair.
Yep. Nature Boy. Space Mountain.
Ric Flair.
16-time world heavyweight wrestling champion.
Holy shit.
Nice.
16?
16.
That's a lot.
Nature Boy.
He's a bad man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Escaped death a few months ago.
What?
He was in a coma. He almost drank himself.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Non-craft beer.
I was hearing... I watched that 30 for 30. He said that he was drinking like 3 bottles of wine a day, like 10 shots of alcohol, like grain alcohol. Yeah, I mean, like crazy.
How do you...
I can relate.
What?
Yeah. I was about to say,
can relate?
I can relate.
I see you over there with that Everclear bottle under the table. You've been taking nips of it the whole time.
Nips.
Just nips.
You said nips.
Yeah.
Like
That's different from entire bottle drinks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, this is 100% Pilsner malt and lightly hopped with German Hallertau and U.S. Tettnang hops.
Yep.
Fermented with German lager yeast and aged in the tradition of the style.
This is so light and refreshing that it makes me want to go mow the grass.
Yeah,
just so
that's
I
great.
can
That's a great call.
fully enjoy it. I'm
nice
not
lager.
going to enjoy this unless I do hard labor first.
It's a flavorful lager, which is
Oh, that's great. It's
different
great.
from the InBev stuff.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Thank God. Finally someone does something
like I said, there's a difference to the back of that. Like the front palate it's very comforting like a lager, but there's something at the end where some of those mass produce that, like I said, there's this metallic thing or this sort of like false wood flavor profile. Where here it just falls to the back of your throat and you're just, it's tickling your tonsils as it goes down.
Ooh.
So as we finish up here, because we got about maybe 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
How much or how often or how close do you work with the actual brewers in Highwire? Like, do you come hang out with them? Are you part of the brewing process?
No. Well, I mean, I have worked with them with accounts. So I've taken one or two accounts that are good accounts of mine. And we're taking another one up in the summer where we'll go and brew for the day. And then the next day we'll do work in the sour facility, and we'll fill barrels. So we'll transfer from fermentation vessels into we did Tanqueray gin barrels last time.
Oh, man.
And so we're just doing that. So yeah, I would say minimally. They don't need me around there too much. But like when I'm up there, I always hang out. I mean, again, we're a small brewery. We don't have 50 employees. Some of these breweries, have 900.
Which is insane.
Yeah. So we have about 50, and a lot of those are actually bartenders at our tap rooms.
Right.
So yeah, I work with those folks. Like, I mean, we're still small enough to where if I shot a text message to our head brewer, he'd probably text me back with like, it's after your bedtime. Go to, something like that. But he's coming down for the Funk Collective, things like that. But that is June 30th at Revelry. Hit them up. $70, like you said. It's like $1.50 per brewery.
It's perfect.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
And the main brewer's coming down.
Yeah, he'll be there.
We'll be there. So.
Yep, he'll be there.
Revelry.
But yeah, I mean, we get to have some input in terms of like the way we want to market things, how we want to divide out how the beer is going to be in each market. I've designed things like helped design golf shirts and like,
like golf shirts.
Yeah, well, hey,
golf is a shit.
Well, I'm just saying like T-shirts, things like that. Like, one of the things that we're like, what type of POS do we need?
Okay.
One of the little things that I suggested pens, and they're like, pens? What? Oh, wait. Oh, how many waiters do you see that have 9 million pens and they need pens? Well, when they go to take an order and it says Highwire on it, how many sales reps are writing down orders? Oh, yeah. And they see that. And I know I need about 100 pens because I lose them.
At least, right?
Because I don't have those. I'm not wearing those tight pleated khakis anymore. They get lost.
Yeah.
They get lost in the.
We brought it back to the cake.
Yeah. We did. Yes, we did.
Oh, I wore them for a while. I had to. That was like the wine man uniform, the beer man uniform. It's like branded golf shirt, Dockers, brown belt.
Yes.
Boat shoes.
Spot on.
It's literally when you go into a Harris Teeter or Publix, you'll see it. Oh, yeah, you'll see it. Oh man, they used to make us wear a shirt and tie for a while. I had. So this is another story. So I had the CEO of our company, huge company, and he lived out at Kiowa, and they put him in a car with me, and I literally had this old Honda Accord, and I put him in there, and it was like 98 degrees, and he's in this fucking $2,000 like it's got like shark skin suit. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's zoot suit. He's balling like he's got like he's got one of his some button is like a pearl button, and he's got like the collar, and I'm like my air conditioner's broke. It's like 98 degrees. My whole plan was to get us out of shirt and ties. So I'm like, he's like sweating. He's like, roll down the windows. And he's sweating, he's rolling up his, Christian Dior or whatever the shit he's wearing. And so we're in the back stock of this Piggly Wiggly. And they have the thing where you throw all the paper in to crush the boxes. And I literally, while he's not looking, I put my tie in the crusher. And I'm like, like that. It's crushing boxes. And I'm like, it's crushing me.
Oh my God.
He's like, oh my God. I pull it out. Whew. We go to lunch. We sit outside at the ocean course. It is 100 degrees. And we're just sitting there. He's just profusely sweating. You know, he looks at me. He's like, man, it's too hot out here for the rolling his sleeves up. I'm sweating through. I mean, my nipples look like 2 pepperonis hanging out. It's just disgusting. He's like, yeah, we need to get rid of these ties in the summer. This is terrible. So there's like a company-wide memo. We're going back to golf shirts in the summer. This doesn't work. This is too much. And so I felt like that was one of the things that
Heck yeah, man.
got us through. Got us through that.
You saved a bunch of people.
An agent of social change.
You are.
I was like the Colin Kaepernick.
You're like a superhero
of the distributor. And the best part is that when it went back to fall, they forgot all about it.
You still haven't worn
so we just didn't. Just forgot all about it.
Boy.
Yeah,
boy.
Social change. But now I don't have to wear. I can wear shorts.
Jesus.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't even own shorts. I should.
Yeah.
I have to. When you have legs, it's beautiful.
If I did work, I guess if I had legs like
I'm
you,
kidding.
I would.
Please.
No, you shouldn't kid, mate. Show it off.
Oh, please.
I gotta take portraits of you in 2 seconds, so we're gonna show off your legs.
Yeah, well, don't. Your camera.
But I mean,
break your camera.
On that note, I mean,
it is about that time.
I think we said it all.
Yeah,
we said everything.
Well, I don't know if we said everything. We're gonna need to have you back.
I'd love to come back. This is fun.
Well, that's true.
You have way too many stories that we can cover in an hour and 50 minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll definitely come back, and by then I'll have even more.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
We'll call this part 1 then.
Yeah, perfect.
Part 1 with Tyler Jones.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Tyler, and thank you, Highwire Brewery.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. To you, to everyone else. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Yeah. Talk to you soon, guys.
One more.
One more cheers.
Cheers.
Lager.
Have a good evening.